sporadically sprinkled throughout some of the sample chapters available over on Wattpad. But it'll eventually all become a part of a theme. Excuse me. Okay, so that was just that. That was just the sidebar. I must now begin the reading of the bit of dialogue again. If anybody's got commentary, questions, suggestions, critiques, drop them in chat. Drop them in chat now about this or any of the things that you've seen since you joined the stream. I will be checking in with chat on Twitch and taking TikTok roll call in just a moment once I feel like we've really honed this particular blurb. And I know that it's just a blurb, but this will be something that's going to become an epic sequence and a big scene that's sort of the culmination of stuff. It's somewhere in my mind, the visual, living, holographic image of where this belongs already exists. I just need to hone just the blurb so that I can then take it and go, okay, let's pull out that sequence of crazy imagery and then craft it all around the blurb. It'll all make sense in the long run. Trust me. There is a method to my madness. It takes a hot minute to get used to, and I know this because I've experimented and found out before. With my flagship premiere play, which no one's ever heard of except for the handful of people that saw it way back in the day, called Blank Slate. Shout out to everybody who participated in that, and also apologies for all the weird awkwardness that ever happened and any of the, forgive me, mea culpa. I failed that group of people on certain levels, and for that I will always be sad. But we also succeeded together as a group beautifully. And I don't know if those people care anymore about that, but to me, that event was a life-changing event. On so many levels, but that's neither here nor there. Let's focus on this. Here we go. Dear sisters and brothers in humanity, in order to heal, evolve, and transcend ourselves collectively as a species, spiritually, I want to put the word both, even though that's technically incorrect. It also just flows, right? Both spiritually, socially, and intellectually. Ooh, that's not even the right set. Spiritually, socially, and intellectually. I want to replace one of these with metaphysically. Spiritually. You know what? I'm replacing socially with metaphysically. Yup. I'm really glad that I left the ChatGPT version up there. A, for reference and inspiration. But also for the archive of this is what ChatGPT gave me, and then this is what I transformed it into. All right, I'm going to start over. Dear sisters and brothers in humanity, in order to heal, evolve, and transcend ourselves collectively as a species, both spiritually, intellectually, and metaphysically, we must, this needs to be all caps, because it's important and an emphasis, we must first acknowledge and accept the coded nature of our living reality in order that we may empower ourselves to rewrite the myths. I want to use the term mythos, but is that... Myths is plural. Mythos, plural? The mythos... Hold on. Let's do something. Let's do a quick thing, real quick. This is another prompt. Which, it's funny that I'm copying them, or I'm pasting them up here, but I'm also already dropping them. All right, this is going to be the most There, that's spelled correctly, I guess. Mythos. Definition and conjugation to plural form. Copy. We're going to do that thing again. We're going to open a new tab for a new chat. Let's move it over here so that it's in the order that I want it to be. We're going to drop that in here. Boop. Bloop. It's going to think, and it's going to start, and we're going to come back over here. All right. Here we go. Not done yet. In order that we may empower ourselves to rewrite the mythos that bind us, we need an insert thing here. And collaborate with the collaborate in the collective act of remembering a future worth becoming. I want one last adjustment there, I believe. It's just not quite exactly the way Mr. Zeppo would say it. It's weird to me, because I cosplay as Mr. Zeppo, but now I'm also cosplaying as the writer. The writer is another character from the book series. It is the artist in me that has been suffering with writer's block literally for my entire life. Multiple decades of ideas stuck in my head that I cannot type out without the facilitation and the engagement of a collaborative partnership with others. And so this is interesting to me that I have finally cobbled together some methodology where I can indeed, as so many people have said to me, right to my face, well, you got to do it by yourself first and build it so they'll come. Like Field of Dreams is some sort of answer to my philosophical conundrum. Ugh. I did not like that movie. Not just because it's essentially anchored in the notion that you can't do something with other people until you prove to those other people that you can do it by yourself. But I am a collaborative creature by engineering, by design, by birth-given gifts, and by training. So how am I supposed to build it by myself if what I'm building is something I need to build with others that without each other we would never have built? That's the crux of my real life as an artist and of the characters in my story that are the ones that drive the action, both the villains and the good guys. Clip that, Eclipse. Okay. It's still missing a little bit, but it's almost there. This blurb is almost transformed from the beautiful thing that ChatGPT put out that is rooted and anchored and inspired by entirely the many things that we've already discussed in our conversations, but that I had yet to ever craft in exactly that form. And now, because it gave me that, I can craft it in the form that is the way that my character, Mr. Zeppo, would say it when he gives that speech that will be an homage to Charlie Chaplin's film, which I cannot remember the name of. But we've already asked ChatGPT to tell us about. Okay. I think I've got maybe 2 more read-throughs of this blurb, and then it'll be 99% done, and we'll be able to lay it to rest for now. And then we got to find its place in the world. Okay. It's obviously not an opening statement, right? Well, maybe it's one of those things where it's like the teaser that then we cut away from to be like, and here's how he got there. Yeah. Flashback to other things. Sorry, I'm still dealing with the fact that I'm not used to having long Jesus hair. Even though I've had this out for like 5 years now, it's still like, it's touching me. Oh, there's all this loose hair everywhere. Yuck. But also I love it. I love the way it looks. I don't like the way it sits on me and feels. It's very complicated. Here we go. Dear sisters and brothers in humanity, in order to heal, evolve, and transcend ourselves collectively as a species, both spiritually, intellectually, and metaphysically. That was a nice Freudian slip. We must first acknowledge and accept the coded nature of our living reality. Because I don't buy into that whole, like, we're just stuck in someone else's video game, because I'm alive, motherfucker. And so are you. And if we're in a video game, that means you insist that you're not alive. And I don't like that. Sorry for the random sidebar. Clip that, Eclipse. Okay. This is about what I mean by, like, cyclical refinement. We read it again and again and again until the brain goes, aha, the form has been found. Okay, one more pass. Dear sisters and brothers in humanity, in order to heal, evolve, and transcend ourselves collectively. This is not the right order. This is not in the right order. I've just realized that. That's one of the things. And transcend. Hang on. Sometimes my mouth has got to stop talking for the brain to finish doing things. And there are times when my hands take over and it's like, stop talking! Ooh, even better. No, it's fine. Okay, now this is in the wrong spot. It's still correct, but it's just, oops, we intercut it with other stuff. Dear sisters and brothers in humanity, in order to heal... Wait, hold on, I'm having a crazy idea. No, that was not the right idea. In order to heal, evolve, and collectively transcend. Oh, wait. Now I've got two conflicting versions in my head. There it is. Got it. Thank you. Individually. Now, there's too many uses of the word collective. Okay, that's okay. We'll just borrow it from this use. Now we need a third term. I don't know what that term is yet. And transcend the disastrous dystopian nightmare that we have created for ourselves as a species. That is working correctly now. We just need that third term over there. Maybe we'll play the redacted game. Yeah. We'll make it a mystery. One of the ways I use that gimmick